Hi, hello, I'm Aubrey, and welcome to Joy Knits and my little corner of the internet where there's not enough time for my time consuming hobbies. Today, I have a podcast episode for you, so let's get into it. Okay, first things first, let's talk about what I'm wearing. I'm wearing my Northern Lights pullover by Sari Nordlund, and it is a knitting for olive heavy merino in the color Rainy Day is the light gray and Thundercloud is the darker gray. I'll stand up for you. I actually really like it. I did modify it though. It's a size 3 stitch wise, but you see I split for sleeves here. Um, the yoke was just gigantic at first, and so I split for sleeves. We got a 1x1 ribbing on, and I have the cuffs rolled up because I'm a little hot, even though it is freezing cold outside. I'm in my craft room where I'm in my craft room. Oh my gosh, I cannot speak. I'm in my craft room to record as always, and I kind of keep it a bit warmer in here. And it's been very warm recently in here at least, so I'm sweating already a little bit, but hopefully that'll be fine. Anyways, I very much like this. I wore it to Knit City in Vancouver, or I made this for Knit City in Vancouver, and I really liked it there. Um, it did keep me warm, and it was kind of cold during the day. And as me and my friend, we were walking around in the, I don't know, it's kind of like it was like a old arena, a rodeo area. I don't know. It was the last year at that venue, but I actually really liked it. It was very nice. Um, Way smaller than Flock, which I did enjoy. Um, we got there really early, and then it started getting packed, so then I started getting sweaty. Anyways, this has held up very nice. I've only worn it a handful of times since I made it, since it didn't get really cold, or like it's now getting really cold. So it was cold this morning, put it on, wanted to wear it today, so we'll see how I fare with it today. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into my one finished object for today. Okay, so my only finished object are a pair of socks. These are the Petra socks by Sunday Morning Knits. They should be coming out fairly soon. Um, they're textured. It's actually very nice. The heel flap, the stitch goes down into the heel flap, and then you do stockinette on the bottom and the pattern on the top. And the pattern also goes into the toe decreases. So your entire front or the top of your foot is going to be textured. And this is actually very nice. I haven't blocked them yet. I don't think I will, but you see they can stretch out quite a bit. And it even says in the pattern like to be aware of that. I did a 1.5 inch cuff here, and then I think how many repeats did I do? I did 13 repeats of the stitch count before I did the heel flap, and I think that got me to a 6 inch cuff without it being stretched. Like it gives a lot of stretch. The yarn, I picked this up at Knit City for this. I wanted kind of like some Wicked inspired socks since it's coming out soon. And I wanted to have a Wicked sock pair so I could wear it to the movies and have some socks for the movie. Does anyone else wear like bring socks and a blanket to the movies? Back home in Florida, oh, I forgot to mention, I'm based here in Seattle, Washington, and I am from Florida, so that's what a little bit of a southern accent is. But my mom and I, every Tuesday, we would go to the movie theaters because it was $5 movies, have some popcorn and soda for dinner, and we'd watch movies all the time. So we would bring socks and blankets and hoodies because it's always freezing in the movie theaters, right? So I think these are going to be really good for Wicked. They're pink, green, everything. Very nice. Let me find the yarn label here. Okay, I found the label now. So this is Fiddly Dye Works and their BFL sock, which is 80% BFL, 20% nylon. In the color Karis. It's actually a very nice yarn. I would totally try to find them again next year when I go to Knit City, hopefully. This is a very nice sock pattern. I will say the one thing, I knit the size 2 on the heel flap. So this is a 3 knit or 3 stitch repeat for the pattern here. I don't know if like you can see how much, but there's a knit ridge and then purl ridge, and that's the 3 stitch pattern repeat. On the heel, so you're left with an uneven amount of stitches, or like it doesn't finish the repeat. Excuse me. It doesn't finish the repeat, the stitch repeat when you're doing the heel flap. So my slightly OCD brain wanted to have the stitch repeat, or like, what's the word? Okay, so here on this side, we have purl ridge. This side, we have a knit ridge. That's okay. However, on the foot, then you're missing a stitch because you had to take the knit column from one of the other repeats. So with that, I just made a make one left, or I just increased a stitch when I did the gusset part. And I don't believe it says that in the pattern, and I'll put that in my Ravelry notes. And then side note, I have my Ravelry linked down below and my Instagram as well linked down below if you have any questions or want to follow along more of a real time for updates on patterns or what I'm working on, really. So that was my one, I wouldn't say complaint, but like irk with the knit or with the pattern. Other than that, it's very nice. Yeah, I just had to increase the 1 stitch on the foot just to make the pattern repeat a little bit, or make it repeat a bit more. Oh, it was on this purl side here. I believe. I can't tell you where I did it, but I know I did a purl stitch, or not a purl stitch, a make one left. We know what I'm talking about. So yeah, these should be coming out fairly soon. As testers, we haven't gotten a specific date for when these are coming out, but the test knit is finished. It's been finished since like the 30th, 31st of October, 30th, sometime. End of October is when it finished. But yeah, these are the Petra socks by Sunday Morning Knits, and now onto my handful of whips. Okay, so I got a lot of whips to talk about, specifically 6. And I think like 4 sweaters. It's very unrealistic, but let's start small, go big. So my first one is another sock for my boyfriend. I don't know if he'll actually wear these, but I just wanted to make him some for Christmas since I'm working on another sweater for him and I haven't touched it in like 2 months, 2 or 3 months actually. So this is in the Patton's Croix sock. Whatever the color this is, it's very nice actually. There's threads everywhere. This is what I get for leaving my stuff on the sewing table area. So this is the sock so far, coming out in stripes. Ooh. I'm using Summer Lee's basic sock pattern from the Cuff Club series. So this is a 64 stitch sock on 2.75 millimeter needles. He has big feet. I would have already been almost done with the second sock if I didn't have to rip out the first sock. So the first sock I did on 72 stitches. I then did everything. I literally got to the part where I needed him to try it on for the toe decreases. Like I got so far. And so I put it on hold and I was like, this is kind of big, but we'll see, try it on because he has big feet. So I was like, oh, it'll fit. It was very big on him. So rip that whole sock back, because if I'm going to make him socks that he's maybe going to wear, maybe not going to wear, I want them to actually fit him and not be loosey-goosey house socks because he won't wear them in the house. So ripped all the way back, did 64 stitches. I did a 20 stitch cuff or 20 row cuff here, 40 stitch foot, and then we have a heel flap and gusset. And now I'm working on the gusset decreases. So I started this last night and I just got to the gusset part this morning. So needless to say, these work up very fast. I think I'm going to be able to work on them soon. These are probably going to be like my work project. I have liked having socks or just smaller projects for work because I work in a hospital at night and I have multiple patients and multiple bed alarms go off sometimes. So I need something that I can put down and pick up very fast. Like I'm not going to be in the middle of a cable row or something. I do still bring cable projects to work because sometimes we have slow nights. But yeah, these are his socks. They're called Jacob socks on my Ravelry for a boyfriend named Jacob. Haha. Um, but yeah, I'm really liking these. I got what words? One of the knit nights I went to one of the yarn stores around me. Um, we were talking about making socks for our loved ones. And I was like, I can't make my boyfriend any because he just goes through them so fast. Like even regular commercial socks, I've had to throw out a couple pairs of his because they have gigantic holes in them, like this big. And she's like, oh, do the Patton's Croy sock yarn because I've made my husband some 20-something years ago and they're still holding up. So, Patton's Croy, we got that. We'll put them to the test because he wears boots to work every day. And we'll see because it's getting cold out and he works outside. So, he's going to need some warm socks. So, yeah, we'll see how these go. Next is a gift knit for my mom. This is a brioche scarf. Oh, goodness gracious, this took it took all of my brain cells that I have left to figure out how to do this. But I figured it out. So we are this much done with it. And that's the right side. This is the other side. So she wanted a two-tone scarf. It took me 4 freaking times to figure out how to cast this on. I've never done brioche before. I thought it was simple. It is frickin' not. I always, whenever I saw people talk about how hard brioche is to get, or them talking about how difficult it is, I'm like, how could it be that difficult? I am so sorry for the people that I doubted. This was very hard to start. The first time, I will put the pattern linked down below. For the one I'm using, it's a free pattern on Ravelry. I can't remember the name of it at the moment. But yeah, it's a free pattern, and I did not read far enough to figure out that it said for the scarf version to cast on 27 stitches. So for the first time, I cast it on 50 stitches because I thought this was going to be like rib and scrunched together. No, it was not. I got a couple rows in, saw that it was gigantic. I could wrap it around my waist twice, and I was like, I gotta rip back. So ripped it back, cast it on like 30-something stitches, did it wrong, ripped back, cast on 30-something stitches, and then I figured out, crap, 30 stitches is still too much. Like this is gonna be a scarf. This isn't gonna be a freaking cowl or something. And so I ripped that back and then cast on the 27 stitches, and then finally got to a point where I'm actually doing brioche and a scarf. So, almost every time that I had to rip back and I got frustrated with this, I put it down and I came back to it later in like a couple days. So this has been a little bit, but now I'm actually enjoying working on this. So it is in Bayram Natura Gilead in these 2 colors my mom picked out at La Mercerie when we went to Bainbridge Island last couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I think. I really like these colors. This is very much my mom in like 2015. Like I remember she had a coat in this magenta color and like a hat in this gray color. Like I remember this outfit vividly. So I know it's gonna work for this. Yeah, I'm really let's just hold that there. I am very much liking like the stitch definition with this. Um, Another part of me having to rip back so many times is that I could not for the life of me figure out the needle size for this. So I first did a 4.5, because Gilead recommends 4 to 5 millimeters. So I was like, you know what? Let me just do in the middle. We'll see how it goes. Very gapey. Then none of my 4 millimeter needles were available, so I'm like, oh, 3.75 needles. I have those. That should be fine. A little bit tighter won't hurt. It was hurting my hands, and then it was just very difficult to work through. And this is gonna be a scarf, and I'm gonna try and use up the entire yarn I have here. We did get 2 balls of each because I did not think while in La Mercerie, and I didn't read the meterage of these. I was like, oh, let's just get 2 of each. That should be fine. I should make you a scarf. So if I'll figure out something else to make with the other 2 balls because I live like in upper Seattle area. Well, like Everett area specifically. And so it's a lot to drive down to Seattle, get on the ferry to Bainbridge, return 2 balls, and then come back. There's a fabric store there that I like, so, and La Mercerie was actually very nice. So maybe, but I don't know. We'll see. I did mix up. But yeah, this is my mom's scarf for Christmas. We're gonna go and see them for Christmas. So hopefully I can get going on this soon. But yeah, that's the scarf. Next, I have my Firth sweater by Rebbeca Clow, or the Rebbeca on other stuff. But her name's what the heck? Sorry, it looks like my cat's got into this. So this is the mohair I'm using. Fiber MacGyver Sari Silk, which is 74% baby Sari alpaca and 26% silk. And the Farmer's Daughter Fibers and Spinsters, or Spin Cycle, right? Yeah, the Spinster's Daughter, I think it was like their collaboration. This is the color York, and this is OK, which is one of a kind, I think. I got 3 of these, and then there's a 4th one of Celeste, and I'm really hoping I only need these 3, or need this 3rd one. I don't need the other one, because it's like a slightly darker green, and I've already done the ribbon and the collar, so I really hope I already got this. But yeah, this is the color combination for them. And then the sweater, it's pretty big because I'm doing this on 5 millimeter needles, doing the size 1, and I'm doing this pretty off gauge. But yeah, this is the sweater so far. I got 2 sleeves. I'm currently working on this one because I ran out of the main yarn. Here's the finished sleeve. Very nice. And then there's these rib textures on the side and the side of the body here. I really like it. Well, I like the construction. I'm not sure about the yarn with this pattern though. I will do some B-roll footage of this, but I don't know. So there's sleeve caps here. It's like a set in sleeve. It's sleeve caps, and then you do the actual sleeve part. I think this would have been fine if we did a drop shoulder type of thing. But I get why, because it's supposed, one second. Because you see, the ribbed parts are at my shoulders and then it drops. And the York yarn is 100% superwash. And this is already crazy oversized on me, so I am not sure if I want to wet block it when I'm done with it. So, I don't know. I am liking it, but it is taking a while just because it's on thicker yarn and thicker needles, and it's hurting my hands just a little bit. The neckline was huge, and so I did have to pick up like every other stitch, and that's why there's just a little bit of bunching there, which is fine. I don't think it shows up too much when I'm wearing it. So, but yeah, that's my Firth sweater. I'm trying to get this done just because I want to start another stockinette sweater, but the yarn I want to use, I think I'm going to have to use 4 millimeter needles, and so I gotta clean out some stuff on my 4 millimeter needles, because I have all, the next 3 sweaters I'm working on, they're all on 4 millimeter needles, so I gotta clean up some stuff. Anyways, that's my Firth sweater. Very nice. On to the next one. Okay, we'll start smallish. I made this bag It's kind of inspired by Marlene Knit's bag that she just got at Rhinebeck with the quilt block like this. I kind of intended it to be a little bit wider, so next time I make something like this, I'll make these panels just a little bit wider. But it's brown, and if we can tell, I like my knits to kind of be color coordinated with their bags. But yeah, I made this. It's a little drawstring. We got some ribbons here. I love the drawstring bags actually. I have a bunch of zippers to make like some zipper project bags, but I'm really liking the drawstrings. And it has like a little stripe lining that also matches these stripes. And you can see yeah, it's very cute. I love it. Anyways, this is the book club cardigan by Sari Nordlund in the yarn, the Simply Wool yarn in the color Wilbur by Knit Picks. This lovely brown color. And again, it's on 4mm needles. And I've got, oh goodness. Okay. I've got the back yoke done and I'm working on the front. I am trying not to let the shoulder part bother me because it is one stitch off, like from actually lining up. Like, do you see that? One stitch off, just one stitch off, and it bothers me just the smallest bit, like a lot of it, but try not to let it super irk me because it's gonna be in the back of the shoulder, and there's really no turning back now. There is a modification by a knitter that she did. She did like a cable on the shoulders to kind of make it a bit more seamless. I have the modification in my pattern because you have to like reach out to her. I will also put her Instagram down below. And she'll give, like, she responds pretty fast and she'll give you like her modifications and stuff if you have bought the pattern. But oh, I could not do it. And I've been trying to make this freaking book club cardigan for like 2 years. I've gone through so much yarn to try and like find the right one. And so I was just like, you know what, screw it. I'm gonna do it in a brown because a brown I don't have anything in a brown and it doesn't like contrast with my hair too much since my hair is brown. That's the one thing why I don't do browns that often is because my hair is brown and I don't know if it'll match. But I think it'll be fine. But yeah, and it's a neutral color, so it'll go with really anything. But yeah, I love the stitch definition on this so far. It is very nice. I am liking it. I do have to tell myself to stop working on it sometimes. But yeah, I really like it. I want to keep working on it, but I have other projects to work on. But yeah, that's really it on the book club cardigan. I do have to wind up another ball of yarn soon. But yeah. I literally made this bag just for the project because I wanted something to coordinate with it. And so I really like it, the bag. I think I'll make another one. I have to remember the measurements that I did. But look at how freaking cute this is. Like, okay, let's try this again. My phone keeps running out of storage and I only get like 10 seconds of video. Anyways, I am making the Arctic Light sweater by Veronica Lundberg or Kutovakika in Brooklyn Tweed Imbue in the color Vapor and Knitting for Olive in the color Ice Blue. It's soft silk mohair. I am very much liking this so far, but I do need to take quick, like often breaks from it just because it's a very cable intensive and that's what I wanted. And it hurts my hands sometimes. So I do like working on this and I want to keep working on it this winter, but we'll see how much I get done with it and I might need to hibernate until next year once we reach the spring. And then sorry if I'm being quick about this, it's just I don't know how much more storage I have on my phone. So we're going to be quick with this. Next, I have my Arendal pullover by Ellis Knitwear. It is in Knit Picks Cloud, Wool of the Andes, which is the white, and then Koigu Origins in the blue color. Oh, that's just beautiful. So I only got a couple more centimeters to go until I can split for sleeves. Sorry, I see my neighbors out there. I feel like he's staring at me. Anyways, only a couple more centimeters to go. You just repeat the pattern, and really it. I am making a project vlog about this, so hopefully that will come out soon. But yeah, I am working on that, and I really like it because it's kind of my only like stockinette project without going a little too crazy. But lastly, let me talk about some plans I have coming up once I finish my Firth sweater. So, one of my coworkers is having a baby girl, and I got this Karen Cake yarn to make a baby blanket for her. It is the Karen Cakes Chunky in the color Ballet Sorbet. Very nice. Sorry, I'm so like self-conscious with my neighbors watching me because I have the windows open. And then I have this Trendsetter Autumn Winds shade. It's a cotton and cashmere yarn. Very cute. Kind of purpley, unicorn-like. And I'm thinking of making a My Little Sister's romper by Petite Knit in it. Because I think she's gonna have her baby more in like the spring, and so a cotton cashmere yarn will be very nice. I was gonna do it in one of my superwash yarns that I have lying around, but I think it like after a couple washes, because it's I made socks in that yarn when I first started like sock knitting and getting into garment knitting, and it pilled very crazy, and I like it is washable, but it still pilled a lot. So I'm hoping that this won't pill as much. But yeah, this is kind of like the baby project I have in mind. This is just gonna be a stockinette or not stockinette, a garter stitch corner to corner blanket. So I just want to use up the whole ball of it. And so, and it's 100% acrylic, so it should keep the baby warm if it's used in the winter, whatever. But that's really all the plans I have just because I have so many whips that I'm already working on and I need to get done. So that's really it. Um, Hi, editing Aubrey. So sorry about that cutoff, but I am unable to make another outro. But I will just let you all know. Thank you so much for watching. As I was saying in that last clip, hopefully I'll get on a more regular filming schedule. I do like this. It's actually kind of fun. But yeah, give a like and subscribe if you like watching today. And leave a comment down below of what you were knitting on while I was rambling on and dealing with tech issues. Anyways, I will see y'all next time, and thank you so much for watching. Bye.